Minds and Money London, and I'm with Graham Dallas of the TMX. Graham, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for inviting me again.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us about your overall sentiment and your overall feeling of what you're seeing here at this conference in London this year.
I think the overall mood is positive, not euphoric, but positive. I think there's a good level of activity in the markets. I think people have kind of stopped saying, when are we going to get back to, and I think people now accept that this is the reality. I think it's quite interesting that they have this joint mining technology and mining show, and we've certainly met a couple of companies with some interesting sort of technological takes on mining. In terms of my sort of personal level of busyness, I've probably got more meeting requests this year than I had last year from companies who, of course, we hope will be eventually listed issuers on the venture exchange or the TSX. So I'm pleased, it's good. And you know, TSX or the TMX Group, the Toronto Stock Exchange and the venture exchange, we're very committed to the industry. It's a very important industry for us. I'm here, that's easy, I'm based in London, but 3 of my colleagues from Canada are here. We've got a lot of engagements with people in the market and associated with the market around the event. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Absolutely, and we know, you touched on this, we know the importance of mining to the Toronto Stock Exchange and certainly to the venture exchange as well. Now, of late, the ASX shares have been, and even AIM shares have been doing quite well, perhaps at a discount to Toronto. Do you think that this has anything to do with, is it to do with sort of overall investor fatigue towards mining shares perhaps, or is it something else there?
I think there's a couple of things going on. I think it's a comparatively long time since a lot of people made a lot of money in mining shares, particularly in junior mining shares or junior and intermediate, which is the area that Toronto is known for. So rather than it becoming a sort of being a sectoral play, it's become very much a company by company, a stock pickers play. But I mean, I think that's perception and that's very important, but the facts, the statistics are still quite strong. This year, at the moment, or up until the end of last month, about almost $6 billion was raised, and $2.7 billion of that money raised by mining companies, $2.7 billion raised by venture exchange companies. So it's still going on. There is still a flow, but I think perhaps the level of excitement is more realistic, which may, in the long term, be more healthy. And clearly, there have been, particular issuers and particular stories, stock by stock, where people have done very, very well. So I think it's a more realistic market these days.
Absolutely. So what's on your plate for 2019? What's sort of on the agenda for the TMX Group?
Well, I can't speak for the whole group because we've got all sorts of other of businesses, and in fact, TMX is expanding. I'm based in London. I've got a nice new office now in the same place as one of the companies that TMX bought at the beginning of this year, Trayport, which is completely different from, well, very different from I guess our traditional businesses. It's a market data business to do with physical energy trading. But for us, I mean, we remain absolutely committed to this sector. I think we're really beginning to leverage Toronto has this very successful junior-senior mining or market structure. It's shone in the mining sector, but I think we're beginning to really leverage that in other sectors as well, where companies can start on the venture exchange and graduate, grow up onto the TSX. Far more than other exchanges that have this sort of junior-senior structure. So over 650 venture companies have over the years gone up onto the TSX. I think it's about 20% of the TSX composite, our main index. 20% of the constituents of that index began their life on the venture exchange. So it really works well. So we're seeing that work well now in other sectors. There's a lot of interesting new technology companies coming onto the market. I think there's an interesting. I've spoken to a couple of people here, companies, young companies, junior companies, who are really bringing innovative technology, whether it's data analysis or metallurgical and chemical technologies to sort of improve mining and perhaps make projects economic that haven't been economic up until now, economically viable up until now. So I think that's really interesting, and getting our listings people and our geological staff sort of up to speed with things like that. But mining's such a big part of our business that we're clearly going to stay very, very committed to it. Half the world's mining companies that are listed in Toronto.
Of course.
So we've got more than all the rest put together.
Well, on that note, Graham, lovely to speak with you again.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Have a good show.